Hi, I'm Chris Mancini. Been training dogs for 25 years. Do lots of trick training. And today I'm going to show you how to teach your dog to do a handstand. Okay, Duffy. So this is the finished product, hopefully. Duff, can you back up? Good boy. So that's the dog doing handstand. So you'll probably notice I'm using a clicker. We use a clicker because it just speeds up the dog's learning, makes it easy for him to grasp what we're trying to teach him. One more, go on then, back up. And he actually got this one really quickly. So the clicker says, yeah, good dog, like what you're doing. There you go. Okay, Duff. So if you do fancy teaching this trick to your dog, you do need to be aware, make sure they are physically able to do it. I mean, any dog can do it, but as long as they haven't got any back problems, hip problems, etc., it might not be ideal then for that dog, but you could teach a variant of it. What you need to do, yes, okay, Duffy, thank you. He says, I just keep doing it. Settle down for a minute. What you need to do initially, the dog needs to work out how to be aware that it's actually got a back end. Some dogs don't realise they've got a back end. So you can do different things to get them to be aware, but probably the most useful one is just walking backwards. Back, good boy, forwards, back. So they've actually got a backward motion. And I think we've actually got another video on the site where you can find out how to teach the walk back. So we put a mat on the floor. And he's just targeting it at the moment, but initially I wouldn't care if he's making a movement towards it, that's not a problem. You can either lure them into the position you want. Come here, like this. So I could lead him on until just his back feet are on there and click and treat that. A couple of times, should only need to do it sort of 2 or 3 times for them to get the idea that that's the one we're after. Duff. Good boy. And there you can see starting to take up the position voluntarily. Duff, back up. That's a down. Good boy. Good boy. So I don't want to help him too much because I want him to work out, whoops, what it is. Then what we can do now and then, Duff, come here. Walk back, back. Good boy. So get him to back up onto it. Back. Good. So he's just getting a little bit of movement with his back end. Then what we could do is make that slightly higher. So you can either have like a little thing that you put underneath it. What are you going to do? Good boy. And let them get into the position like that. It doesn't matter at this stage that he's going on frontwards. Get off, get off. Wait a minute, I know what to do. Let's put it inside. There we go. Good boy. So he's taken up that position. Tough. And then sometimes we'll ask him to back onto it. Back. So you can see he's trying to work out, oh, my back feet have got to go somewhere. But he has been offering some different behaviours. He'll go on there and he'll do a bow or he'll sit or lay down, but that's just because he knows so much and he just says, oh, you know, if I'm not fairly quick with the clicker at marking it. See, now there he's decided he's picking it up, but no, he's gone into the position, so it doesn't matter that he's doing all the other stuff in the middle at the early stages. Then what I would start to do is actually move it nearer to a wall or something, so that Duff, yeah, so he's just walking back onto it now a little bit more easily because he can't get round behind it to come in. Want to try and time with your clicker so that we're marking when his back legs, back up, good boy, a bit more, yeah, as soon as the 2 back feet are on the target. So again, I'm not bothered that he's gone round. It's not going to ruin his handstand. And then we'd make it a bit higher. They've also got to build up muscle memory. They need to build up these front muscles here. They've got to be a bit stronger because they are actually lifting their body right up and balancing on it. So you need to repeat it quite a few times so that the muscle memory builds up there. You can start to withhold your click just a tiny bit so that they're just keeping the position a bit longer. So when you've done this, it's obviously when you're teaching your dog initially, you might just have a couple of training sessions a day for a few minutes, and you're not going to get to the full handstand in your first training session. So what you could do with your box, or something similar, is actually turn it on its side so it's narrower now. So they've actually got to think about getting their feet up somewhere. Good boy. He's actually balancing on the bars there. But so you've got a narrower object. And sometimes what you might need to do, good boy, okay, is almost do it in a corner or something so that they've got the wall to guide them into a corner. Sometimes that helps. But he's, go on then, what are you going to do? Back up. Good boy, well done. So then when you're at that stage and they're doing that fairly consistently, a useful tool that I haven't got today is something like a bath mat with suckers on. If you can stick that to something, then we've moved our target from the floor to being here. But what I'm going to do with this is just hang it over the bar so that you get the idea. Back up. I've been using this backup cue, but I often don't put my verbal cue on until they're actually doing the full behaviour. Good boy, well done. So you can see as that goes higher, he'll start to move his feet up higher. We've probably been doing most of this training in the same place, so we need to generalise it a little bit so they learn to understand that wherever I am, the backup means back up. So how we would do that is maybe just move it to a slightly different location in the house, if you're training indoors, or in your training venue, train in another corner, because it is quite different for the dogs. Also, I would actually change the mat and use different boxes and stuff like that, so that they're getting just used to standing on different things. Anything, an upturned toy box, an orange crate. So as long as it's fairly stable and you haven't got an anxious dog that's going to panic if it falls, because sometimes they can wobble a bit and stuff like that. So as long as you haven't got that, then that shouldn't be a problem. And then you can make your targets smaller so that it's really hardly any target at all, so that eventually you can lose it altogether. And then you want to start taking it to other places. When you're out and about, if you think they've got the idea of it, you can start doing it up trees and things like that, so that they're outside and they're getting used to it, and it's become generalised and they know exactly what to do. So if you say to them back up, they'll go and find the most convenient thing to jump up. Won't you, Duff? So back up. Thank you. We'll get rid of the target and back up. Then you can actually transfer it to get him to back up other people as well. Good boy. Okay. This is Buddy, he's a Springer Spaniel. So we're just showing you a similar thing with back foot targeting. This is just a little rubber target. Anne's got to be very quick with her clicker. And you can see he's lifting up his back legs and letting us know he's doing it. So it's just getting the dog really aware that it's got a back end, and you can see he knows it's to do with his back feet because he's lifting his back feet up and trying to fit 2 back feet onto this. And you notice we're just ignoring all this, so it doesn't matter that he's messing around and doing the wrong thing, and he's just not going to click him for it. She's just waiting for him to do the right thing, and he's done it. What you can also do is stack books up, just gradually increasing the height of the books, and then again you're going to fade those books. One more, Buddy, for the camera. Yeah, that was a good one, well done. Excellent, thank you, Anne and Buddy. So, if you fancy teaching your dog that, that's the way to do it. Duffy.